Let's start today's practice in child's pose, coming onto your shins, untucking your toes, bringing your toes and heels to touch, opening the knees up, dropping the chest in between the thighs. Forehead comes down to the floor, arms are extended out in front of you, sit bones are resting on the heels, using props if you need to. So either blocks underneath your sit bones if your sit bones don't quite get to your heels, or a block underneath your forehead, making it as comfortable as you need it to be or as you can. Just breathing at your own easy inhale and exhale, closing into the eyes just for a moment. Just feeling that breath helping your body soften a little bit. Feel the hips starting to soften a little bit more. And from here, start to move your hands all the way over to the right. And then dropping your chest over your right knee, head moving back down. Just holding it there for a few breaths. Inhale. Exhale, 3. And 2. And 1. Slowly starting to move the hands all the way through center and then over to the left. Leaning over the left knee, dropping the chest back down, head comes back down. Again, just holding it there for a few breaths. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. And exhale, 1. Bringing the hands back to center, pushing into the hands, tucking into the toes, keeping the chest close to the thighs as you slowly start to extend the legs, moving into downward facing dog, bending into one leg and then the other, maybe moving the head from side to side, just playing around in your downward facing dog, just loosening up into the body, maybe coming high up onto the toes and then dropping the heels back down. Just moving around. And now finding some stillness in your down dog. Bringing control to the breath, that even inhale and exhale through the nose and out the nose. There's a slight constriction at the back of the throat. Just trying to keep this breath throughout the practice, coming back to it every time your mind starts to wander. Your gaze is gently between the legs. Heels are finding their way down towards the mat, and chest is pushing towards the thighs. On an inhale, rolling forward into a plank, finding that plank alignment, that strong plank alignment, and then exhale, dropping the knees down to the floor and your chest and chin. Inhale, moving forward and up into a baby cobra, holding baby cobra. You're lifting up into the chest. Hands are very gently touching the mat. Elbows are facing up towards the ceiling. And holding it there for a few breaths, for 3, for 2, and 1. Tucking into the toes, feeling the stretch at the backs of the feet as you move your sit bones towards the heels. Maybe stretching it out at the backs of the feet there before you move into your downward facing dog. And then start extending the legs into downward facing dog. On an inhale, rolling forward to that plank. Exhale, this time you're going to bend your arms to 90 degrees, chaturanga. Untuck the toes, lift up the chest, upward facing dog, inhale. And exhale, moving all the way over to downward facing dog. And slowly starting to tiptoe your feet all the way up towards your hands. Keep the feet hip distance apart. Folding over the legs, bend the knees if you need to, maybe grabbing hold of opposite elbows. Feel the head drawing down towards the mat. Just lengthening out the back of the spine. Again, always welcome to move into the legs here, maybe bending into one leg and then the other. Just holding it here in this forward fold for a few breaths. You can maybe sway from side to side. Whatever feels good for you right now. And start to take your hands down towards the mat. Tiptoe your feet to the outer edges of the mat, so the toes maybe come off the mat, heels stay on, bend deeply into the knees, bring the elbows to the inside of the knees, hands are at the heart, you're lifting the chest up, pushing the knees out with the elbows, coming into Malasana, yogic squat, dropping the tailbone down, lifting the chest up, shoulders are drawing away from the ears, just holding it here, inhale. Exhale 2, inhale, exhale 3, inhale, exhale 4, inhale, and exhale 5. Take your hands out in front of you or onto the floor. Start to extend into the legs so the toes are still facing out, heels are still facing in. Kind of coming into a forward fold with your feet a little bit more open, just holding it there for 3 and 2 and 1. Start to tiptoe the feet back to hip distance apart, bend deeply into the knees, rounding into the spine, and slowly making your way all the way up to stand at the front of the mat, coming to stand in Tadasana. From here, take your left leg behind your right, take it quite far out towards the right, bend into the right knee, and lift the left arm up towards the ceiling. Grab hold of your left wrist with your right hand and start to lean all the way over to the right, really stretching into the left side of the body. Just holding it there, finding that nice lateral stretch. Inhale, exhale 3, inhale, exhale 4, inhale, and exhale 5, moving all the way back up to center, uncrossing your legs and letting go of your left wrist, coming back to stand in Tadasana. Moving over to the other side, so this time you're going to take your right leg out behind your left, quite far out to the left, bend into your left knee. Lift your right arm up towards the ceiling and then grab hold of your right wrist with your left hand and slowly move all the way over to the left, now stretching into the right side of the body, just lengthening out that right side. Inhale, exhale 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, slowly releasing the wrist and twisting the feet and then coming to stand at the front of your mat in Tadasana. Toes and heels are touching, the tailbone slightly tucked, lower belly's turned on, shoulders are dropping away from the ears. Chin is parallel to the floor. On an inhale, take the palms forward and up, look up towards the fingers. Exhale, folding all the way over the legs, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthening out the spine into a halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands. You can jump, step, or float back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Holding it for 5 breaths. Inhale, exhale 1, inhale, exhale 2, inhale, exhale 3, and 4, and 5. Inhale, look between the hands. You can jump or step up, coming into your halfway lift, and exhale, folding all the way over the legs, Uttanasana. Inhale, bringing the palms forward and up, looking up towards the fingers, and exhale, coming to stand in Tadasana. Let's do one more of those. Inhale, palms forward and up, look up. Exhale, folding over the legs, Uttanasana. Inhale, coming into your halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands so you can jump, step, or float back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog, holding for 5. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. And 4. And 5. Inhale, look between the hands. You can jump or step up. First coming into your halfway lift. And then exhale, folding over the legs. Inhale, bring the palms forward and up. Look up towards the fingers. And exhale, come to stand in Tadasana. On an inhale, bend knees deeply, palms forward and up. Look up, Utkatasana. Find that chair pose. And then slowly start to bring the hands towards your heart, moving all the way over to the right and trying to hook your left elbow over your right knee, finding that twist to the right. Have a look at your knees, make sure your left knee isn't popping out in front of your right. Bring them in line, and then start to use your hands to push your chest up even higher, away from the thighs, and your gaze is over your right elbow, and sitting down low. Inhale, exhale, 3, for 2, and 1. Bringing the hands up through center, keeping the knees bent, and then exhale, folding all the way over the legs, Uttanasana. Inhale, step your right foot back into a low lunge, and then drop your right knee down towards the floor. Slowly start to move your sit bones back towards your right heel, keeping the toes tucked. So you want to stretch into that right foot, and you start extending into the left leg. If it feels horrible with your toes tucked, then untuck your toes, but trying to get your sit bones down onto that right heel. Start to lift up into the chest, and then exhale, fold all the way over your extended left leg. Left foot is flexing up towards the ceiling and holding it there. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. And exhale, 1. Slowly starting to lift up into the chest, and then moving forward all the way over that left leg, coming back into your low lunge. And start to lift your right knee up off the floor and bring your arms up either side of your ears. Now moving up into your high lunge, holding that high lunge. Strong back leg. Your right heel is drawing towards the back of the room, bending deeply into the left knee and holding it here for 3 and 2 and 1. Stepping strongly into the left leg. Bring the right knee all the way up into the chest. Find your balance here just for a moment. And start to bend into both knees. And then hook the right knee over the left, maybe taking your right foot behind your left calf, coming into your eagle legs. At the same time, trying to open up the arms, or opening up the arms either side of you. And then bringing the left elbow underneath the right elbow, coming into your eagle arms. Bringing the backs of the hands to touch, or the palms to touch. Sitting low in that eagle pose, lifting the elbows up and drawing the hands away from the face, bending a bit deeper. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. And exhale, 1. Slowly starting to unravel both arms and legs, moving all the way back into your high lunge. And start to straighten out into the left leg, opening your arms, hips and shoulders, grounding into your right heel, setting up for Trikonasana. Hinge the body all the way forward, so reach the left hand as far forward as you can, and then exhale, coming down into Trikonasana, bringing the left hand to the inside of the left calf, lifting the right arm up towards the ceiling and holding Trikonasana. Inhale. Exhale, 3 and 2 and 1, with strong legs moving all the way back up to center. And turning the left toes in, keep the right toes turning in. Standing with the legs open, facing the side of the room, setting up for your open leg forward fold. So puffing out into the chest, drawing the shoulder blades together. And exhale, folding all the way down towards the floor. Take your hands down towards the floor first, extend into the spine. And then exhale, bringing the hands in between the feet, dropping the head down low. Coming into your open leg forward fold. Moving the weight of your body into the balls of the feet, trying to get those sit bones higher up towards the ceiling. Head is dropping down towards the floor. Shoulders are still drawing away from the ears. Don't hunch the shoulders up into the ears. Inhale. Exhale, 3. And 4. And 5. On an inhale, coming up onto the fingertips, lengthening out into the spine, bringing the hands all the way back towards the hips, leading with the chest coming all the way back up to center. And keeping the left toes as they are, just turn the right toes out to face the back of your mat, bending deeply into your right knee, opening up the arms, coming into warrior 2. So the hips are still open, your right knee is pulling out towards your right baby toe, shoulders are dropping away from the ears, and you're looking over your right fingertips. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. And exhale, 3. Inhale, straighten out into the right leg. Drop the left hand down the left thigh. Bring your right arm all the way up and over towards the back of the room, coming into your reverse triangle just for 3. And 2. And 1. Moving all the way back over, circling your hands down to the floor either side of your right foot. Hop your back foot in a little bit, lengthen out into the right leg, lift up into the chest, and then exhale, folding all the way over the right leg. Coming into your pyramid, Parsvottanasana. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. And exhale, 5. Inhale, lifting up into the chest. And just gently bend into that right leg, bringing your left foot to meet your right at the now front of your mat. Folding over the legs. Inhale, bend knees deeply, palms forward and up, look up, Utkatasana. And exhale, come to stand in Tadasana. Inhale, bend knees deeply, palms forward and up, look up, Utkatasana. And bringing the hands back to the heart, this time you're moving over to the left. So you're going to be hooking the right elbow over the left knee. Have a look at your knees again, bring that right knee in line with your left, using the palms of your hands to push the chest away from the thighs, and looking over that left shoulder. Inhale. Exhale, 3. And 2. And 1, bringing the palms up through center, keeping the knees bent, and then exhale, folding all the way over the legs, extending into the legs, Uttanasana. This time you're going to step your left foot back into a low lunge, drop your left knee down towards the floor, keeping the toes tucked, start to move your sit bones back to your left heel, extending into the right leg, right toes are flexed, again you can untuck your back toes if you need to. Otherwise, lifting up into the chest and then exhale, folding all the way over the right leg. Inhale, exhale, 2. Inhale, exhale, 3. Inhale, exhale, 4. Inhale, and exhale, 5. Start to lift up into the chest and slowly start to move forward again. Coming into your low lunge with the right leg in front, and then lift the back knee up off the floor. Start to move your arms up either side of your ears, coming into your high lunge, strong legs, strong back leg. Left heel is now drawing towards the back of the room, right knee is bending deeply. Inhale, exhale, 3. Inhale, exhale, 2. Inhale, And exhale, 1. Stepping into the right foot and bringing the left knee into the chest, finding your balance here for a moment. Moving into that eagle legs and eagle arms, so bending deeply into the knees. This time the left knee crosses over right. And hooking the left foot behind the right calf, opening the arms up, bringing your right arm underneath your left, maybe bringing the backs of the hands to touch or the palms to touch, lifting the elbows up and then drawing the hands away from the face, stretching into the backs of the shoulders. Inhale, exhale 3, inhale, exhale 2, sitting down lower, inhale, and exhale 1, starting to slowly unwind with control, stepping that left foot all the way to the back of the mat, coming back into your high lunge, and start to extend into the right leg, ground into the left foot, open the arms and hips, setting up for Trikonasana. And this time you're going to hinge your body all the way forward with the right hand and bringing the right hand to the inside of the right shin, left arm lifts up towards the ceiling, right leg gets extended, holding that Trikonasana. Inhale, exhale 3, inhale, exhale 2, inhale, and exhale 1, with strong legs moving all the way back up to center. Your right leg is still extended. You're just going to turn your right toes in, setting up for that forward fold, that open leg forward fold. Again, the hands come to the hips, lifting up into the chest. I'm going to exhale, fold all the way forward, taking the hands down to the floor first, just lengthening out into that spine, finding that alignment, and then exhale, folding all the way through. This time maybe grabbing hold of your ankles or your calves or your thighs, whatever you can get, to try and pull yourself further between the legs, dropping the head down low. Again, the weight is moving into the balls of the feet. And finding your breath, inhale, exhale 3, inhale, exhale 2, inhale, and exhale 1, releasing the hands down to the floor first, extending into the spine, and bringing the hands to the hips, leading with the chest, moving all the way back up to center. You're going to open up the arms, turn the left toes out to now face the front of the mat, bending deeply into the left knee, setting up for your warrior 2. You might need to adjust your stance here a little bit. You might need to widen it. Bending deeply into that left leg, left knees pulling out towards your left baby toe. Shoulders are gently dropping away from the ears and you're gazing over your left fingertips. Strong bent leg. Inhale, exhale 3, inhale, exhale 4, inhale, and exhale 5. Start to straighten out into the left leg. Drop your right hand down your right thigh. Bring your left arm all the way up and over across your left ear. Coming into that reverse triangle for 3, and 2, and 1. Slowly moving all the way forward, circling your hands down to the floor either side of your left foot. Hop your right leg in a little bit, lengthen out into the left leg, setting it up for Parsvottanasana, lifting up into the chest, and exhale, folding over your extended left leg. Inhale, exhale 3, inhale, exhale 4, inhale, exhale 5. Inhale, lengthening out into the chest and bending gently into that left leg. Bring your right foot to meet your left at the front of the mat, folding over the legs, Uttanasana. Inhale, bend knees deeply, palms forward and up, look up, Utkatasana. And exhale, come to stand in Tadasana. Inhale, bend knees deeply, palms forward and up, look up, Utkatasana. Exhale, folding over the legs, Uttanasana. Inhale, coming into your halfway lift. Exhale, planting the hands. You can jump, step or float back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, step your right foot between your hands. Bring your arms up either side of your ears, coming into your high lunge. Find your balance here just for a moment. Start to step into the right foot, moving the arms back, lifting the left leg up off the floor, dropping the chest to be parallel with the mat. Coming into your warrior three, left knee is pointing down. Arms are drawing towards the back of the room. Chest is parallel to the floor. Inhale. Exhale, 3. And 4. And 5. Start to bend into both knees, bringing the left knee just to the outside of the right calf, just hovering it there. And then inhale, extending both legs, coming back into your warrior 3. Again, bending into both knees, hovering the left knee just to the outside of the right calf, and then inhale, extending back into warrior 3. Exhale, bending into both knees, just hovering that left knee for a moment, and then bringing yourself down to sit with the left knee to the inside or the outside of the right ankle. Setting up for your twists. So you're more than welcome to use your hands to get there. Your left foot is to the outside of the left knee. Bringing your right hand to the base of the spine, left arm lifts up towards the ceiling. Start to hook the left elbow over the right knee, twisting all the way over to the right, looking over the right shoulder. With every inhale, lengthening out into the spine. Every exhale, start to twist a little bit deeper. Inhale, exhale 2, inhale, exhale 3, inhale, exhale 4, inhale, and exhale 5. Inhale, slowly starting to move back through center, and then exhale, derotating all the way over to the left, and then inhale, moving back through center. And start to bring that right knee into the chest. Grab hold of your right foot with both hands and slowly start to extend the right leg out in front of you, keeping the chest lifting up. So if you feel like your spine is rounding, maybe take a little bend in that right leg. Don't extend that leg if the spine is compromised. So always lifting up into the spine. Inhale, exhale 3, and 2, and 1. Bring the right foot back down to the floor, either back to the outside of your left knee, or it might be easier for you just to put the right foot in front of your left shin. You're going to start to move forward into the right foot, stepping into that right foot and moving the left leg all the way back to the back of the mat, coming into your low lunge. Start to bend into the left knee, bring the left knee down towards the floor, and start to move the sit bones all the way back, this time to the inside of your left foot. You might need a block to sit on if your sit bones don't get down to the floor. Just stack it up to see where you are comfortable. If your knees are screaming here, then maybe come out of it. But if you are okay sitting in this pose, then maybe start to move yourself backwards. If you're on a block, maybe take your elbows down to the floor. If you're on the floor and you feel like you can move lower, you can take your entire back down to the floor. And lying down there, again, if your knee is screaming, make sure you come out of it. Don't hold a pose if you feel like you're going to hurt yourself. Always be conscious of what your body needs and what your body is doing, and holding it there just for a few breaths, feeling it in the quad. Inhale and exhale 4 and 5. Slowly starting to come back up. If you're on your back, coming onto your elbows first, then pushing into your hands. Start to bend into your right knee and then bring your right foot to the inside of your left hip. So you want to kind of hook the toes right up into your left hip crease. You're going to then drop your right knee down towards the floor. You can slowly start to twist all the way over to the right. And if you want to take it further, you can wrap your right hand behind your spine, grab hold of your right toe, bringing your left hand to your right knee and finding that twist with your foot hooked up into your left hip. Just breathing here, inhale. Exhale, 3 and 2 and 1. Slowly moving all the way back to center. You can de-rotate over to the left and then coming back through center. Start to bring your right knee back into the chest, extend it out onto the mat in front of you, and slowly moving all the way forward back into that low lunge. Lift your left knee up off the mat. Move your right foot back to plank. Bend arms to 90 degrees chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. On an inhale, step your left foot between your hands, coming into a high lunge, so bringing your arms up either side of your ears, finding your balance first, and then moving into your warrior 3, stepping into your left foot, lifting your right leg up off the floor, dropping the chest to be parallel to the mat, arms moving all the way back. Feel the arms kind of stretching towards the back of the room. Strong legs here. Inhale. Exhale, 3 and 4 and 5. Bending into both knees, this time hovering the right knee to the outside of the left calf. And then inhale, extending both legs, coming back into that warrior 3. Exhale, bending into both knees, hovering the right knee to the outside of the left calf. Inhale, extending both legs, coming into warrior 3. And then bending into both knees, hovering that right knee just to the outside of the left calf. Slowly moving all the way down to sit with the right knee to the outside of the left ankle. Of course, using your hands to get you down there if you need to. Setting up for your twist. So now your left ankle is to the outside of your right knee. Start to take your left hand to the base of the spine. Right arm lifts up towards the ceiling. Moving over to the left, hook the right elbow over the left knee, twisting all the way over to the left. And looking over your left shoulder, inhale, lengthening out into the spine. Exhale, twisting a little bit deeper. Inhale. Exhale, 3 and 2 and 1. Inhale, moving all the way back through center. Exhale, de-rotating over to the right. And then inhale, moving all the way back through center. And start to bring the left foot into the chest, grabbing hold of that left foot with both hands. And slowly starting to extend into the left leg. Again, not compromising the spine. So if you feel like the spine is rounding, maybe bend into that left leg a little bit just to straighten out that spine. Inhale. Exhale, 3 and 2 and 1. Again, now bringing the left foot either back to the outside of the right knee or just in front of your right shin. You're going to start to step into that left foot, moving the right leg all the way to the back of the mat, coming into that low lunge. Drop the right knee down towards the floor and slowly start to move your sit bones all the way back to the inside of your right foot, either onto a mat or onto a block or some stacked pillows, just to see how you can make this pose more accessible to you. If you're on a block, you can take your hands further back, maybe coming onto your elbows. And if your sit bones are firmly on the mat, you can start to move your back all the way to lie down and holding it there. Again, feeling what happens with your knees. If it's not good for you, then coming out of it. And just being sure of what your body can do at this point. Holding it there. Inhale. Exhale, 3 and 2 and 1. And slowly coming out of it. Either coming back onto the elbows first and then onto the hands. And then coming up to sit with your sit bones still to the inside of your right foot. Start to bend into your left knee. Bring your left toes right up into your right hip crease. You want to really get them into that right hip crease, and then drop the left knee down towards the floor. Setting up for that twist, so moving over to the left. You can take your right hand to your left knee and use that hand to twist you a little bit deeper. If you want to take it further, maybe wrapping your left hand round the back of your spine and grabbing hold of your left toes behind you, looking over your left shoulder, finding that twist. Inhale, exhale 3 and 2 and 1. Releasing, slowly moving all the way through center, and then giving yourself a little derotate over to the other side, and then coming back through center. Bringing your left foot back into your chest, then extending it out in front of you, moving all the way forward over that left leg, lifting your right knee up off the floor, coming back into that low lunge, and then moving your left foot next to your right, coming into your plank, bending arms to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. And slowly start to drop both knees down to the floor. Open the knees up, untuck the toes, rest the chest between the thighs, head on the floor, coming into child's pose just for a moment. And taking some deep inhales and exhales here, just slowing everything down. Just finding your breath. With every inhale, feel that belly expanding onto the thighs, and every exhale, feel the belly drawing back towards the spine, using the breath just to soften into the hips and into the shoulders. And from here, we're going to start moving into your headstand. If you have a good headstand practice, then you're more than welcome to move into the headstand straight away, holding it for a few breaths, eventually starting to build that headstand practice up to about 30 breaths. So maybe starting with 10 and then coming down again, and then maybe another 10 breaths and coming down, resting in child's pose. See how you go. If you are not moving into the headstand and you want to start building up to that kind of practice, a good place to start is dolphin. So you take the forearms out in front of you onto the mat, interlace the hands. Elbows would be directly underneath your shoulders. So don't take the elbows too far apart from each other. Shoulders are not that wide. You would then start to tuck into the toes, extend into the legs. The head would be dangling off the floor. You're almost coming into a down dog, but on the forearms, pushing into the forearms and using the shoulders to push the head away from the mat, building up the strength in the shoulders to eventually give you a good base for your headstand. If you do want to start moving into headstand, taking your head down to the floor with the forearms on the mat, just like dolphin, elbows would be underneath the shoulders. This time though, your hands would be cupped or opened, the fingers would still be interlaced, and you would put the back of the head in the open hands. The top of the head is resting on the mat. You start to tuck into the toes, start to extend into the legs. The first step would maybe be to bring one knee into the chest, and then drop that foot down, and then maybe bringing the other knee into the chest and dropping that foot down. So you're playing around here with each step. The next step would be to bring one knee into the chest, and then maybe start to bring the other knee into the chest as well. You kind of holding it here in a half headstand. With headstand, you do not jump up into headstand. It's always a very controlled, slow movement of bringing both knees into the chest. Once both knees are into the chest and you do want to move further, then slowly starting to extend the legs, taking the feet up towards the ceiling, being conscious of always pushing into those forearms, pushing into the shoulders. Very little weight is on the top of the head. You'll be holding it here. We're going to be holding it here for a few more breaths wherever you are. If you're in dolphin, maybe coming back into the dolphin and then resting in child's pose. I'm going to be holding it for another 5 breaths. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. And exhale 5. Slowly with control if you are in your headstand, making your way all the way back down and resting in child's pose. Opening up the knees, untucking the toes and resting the forehead in between the thighs. Again, taking a nice full deep inhale and exhale. I like to sometimes sit up on my shins, move my head from side to side. Everybody's different, but just slowly coming out of that inversion, taking a few breaths, and just slowing everything down. And from here, taking your hands out in front of you onto the mat, tucking into the toes, extending into the legs, coming into your last down dog of the day. And rolling all the way forward into a plank. And exhale, lowering yourself onto your belly very slowly with control. And bringing your arms or forearms out in front of you, resting your forehead on the hands. And just breathing here for a few moments. And from here, zip your feet together behind you, making one long straight line. Point so hard into the feet that the knees almost feel like they're lifting up off the floor. Hands come next to the hips. Palms are facing up, so the backs of the hands are on the mat. Forehead is on the floor. On your next inhale, you're going to lift your head, chest and feet, coming into Shalabhasana. Inhale, exhale 1, inhale, exhale 2, sucking in that belly, exhale 3, inhale, exhale 4, inhale, lifting a little higher, and exhale, releasing all the way down, bringing your right ear down to the floor, flop your heels out to the side, and just shimmy into the hips, moving from side to side. And bringing your head back to center, again zipping the feet behind you, interlacing your hands behind your back this time, making a fist. Feel the fist drawing towards your heels. On your next inhale, you're going to lift head, chest, and feet away from the floor. The fist is drawing towards the heels. Inhale, lift. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale, lifting a little higher. Exhale, releasing all the way down, bringing your left ear down towards the floor, flopping the heels out towards the sides and just shimming into the hips, moving them from side to side, loosening up a little bit, releasing those hands. Just taking a few breaths. And this time, bringing your head back to center, bending your legs behind you, grabbing hold of your ankles from the outside. Concentrate on pushing your pubic bone into the mat. On an inhale, you're going to start to kick into your hands first and then slowly start to lift up head, chest, and knees. Inhale, lift. Exhale 1, bow pose. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3, inhale, exhale 4, Inhale, lifting a little higher, and exhale, releasing all the way down, bringing your forearms out in front of you, forehead resting on your hands, plopping the heels out to the side, and shimming into the hips. And starting to roll over onto the back, bringing the feet up towards your sit bones, taking the feet down to the mat, keeping them hip distance apart, and brushing the backs of the heels with the fingertips. On an inhale, you're going to slowly start to roll up, lifting your lower, middle, and upper spine up towards the ceiling, hips up towards the ceiling, shimming the shoulders in towards one another underneath you, interlacing your fist, pushing the fist down on the mat, and lifting the hips up even higher, coming into your half wheel. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale, lifting up a little higher, and exhale, releasing all the way down, releasing the hands and lowering your upper, middle, and lower spine down towards the mat. Taking the feet to the outer edges of the mat, keeping the feet on the floor, and then just dropping the knees into touch, maybe swaying them from side to side, finding a little bit of a windmill effect. Bringing the feet back to hip distance apart, again, brushing the backs of the heels with the fingertips. You're going to try this, see how you go. Otherwise, just sticking with the version of half wheel that we did before. You're going to slowly start to lift your lower, middle, and upper spine up towards the ceiling. You're going to have to come up onto your toes. You're going to shimmy the elbows underneath you, taking the hands underneath the sacrum. The fingers are going to be facing outwards on your hips or around your waist, all 10 fingers facing outwards, and then slowly start to lower the heels back down. So you resting your lowest back on your hands and your feet are on the floor. From here, you're going to bend into your right leg, so pull it up almost into your chest, and then start to extend the right leg up towards the ceiling and holding it for 3. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. And exhale 3, bending into the knee, and then start to take the right foot back down to the floor. And moving over onto the left, bringing the left knee into the chest, and then slowly starting to extend the left leg up towards the ceiling. Extending that left foot up towards the ceiling, holding it for 3. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. And exhale 1, bringing the left foot back down to the floor. Coming up onto the tippy toes, releasing your hands from underneath your sacrum, and then lowering your upper, middle, lower spine back down towards the floor. Again, taking your feet to the outer edges of the mat and just dropping the knees into touch. Maybe again swinging them from side to side, or just holding it there. Just closing into the eyes for a moment. Just concentrate on your breathing. Coming back to that controlled breath. And bringing the feet back to hip distance apart. Again, moving like we did the last time. And if you don't want to, or if you can't get your hands underneath your sacrum, just doing the first half wheel that we did at the beginning. Otherwise, moving with me. And slowly starting to lift your lower, middle, upper spine up towards the ceiling. Again, coming high up onto the toes, taking the elbows underneath you and the hands rest on your sacrum, coming round your waist, or your hips. All 10 fingers are together, so you're not hooking your thumbs on your hips, you're bringing that thumb all the way around. From here, you're going to start to lift any leg, doesn't matter which one, into the chest and start to extend it up towards the ceiling. Then with control, bringing the other leg into the chest and start to extend that one up towards the ceiling. The lower back is still resting on the hands, so it's not a shoulder stand, it is a back bend, and you're holding it there for 5, inhale, exhale 4, inhale, exhale 3, inhale, exhale 2, inhale, exhale 1. Slowly starting to bring one foot back down to the floor, then the other foot, coming high up onto the toes, releasing your hands from underneath your spine, and then slowly lowering your upper, middle, and lower back down towards the mat. From here, bring your knees into your chest and rock it from side to side, and do a few circles clockwise and then anti-clockwise, just massaging into that lower sacrum, just finding your breath. And keeping your right knee into the chest, take your left foot down to the mat and start to extend your left leg down onto the floor. Bring your right foot up towards the ceiling. Grab hold of your right foot with your right hand to the outside of the right foot, bending into that right knee, and then start to pull the right knee into your right upper shoulder, kind of coming into a half happy baby. If you want to try and even take that knee further down next to you onto the mat, I like to lift my left foot up towards the ceiling, pull the right knee down next to me, and then slowly start to drop the left knee back down towards the floor. See how you feel. And holding it there, inhale. Exhale 2. And 3. 4. And 5, starting to bring the right knee back into the chest, holding that right shin. Open the right arm out onto the mat, shoulder height. Take the right knee with the left hand and then slowly start to pull the right knee all the way over to the left, finding that twist, looking over your right shoulder. Holding it there, close into the eyes. Just feeling that twist, it should feel good. Inhale and exhale. And start to bring the right knee back to center. You're going to be swapping over. So bring the left knee into the chest, drop your right foot down towards the floor, extend the right leg onto the mat. Keep the left knee bent, just take the left foot up towards the ceiling, then grab the outside of your left foot with your left hand. Start to pull the left knee in towards your upper left armpit, coming into that half happy baby. Again, if you want to try and bring that left knee closer to that armpit or on the mat, it's sometimes easier to lift the right foot up towards the ceiling, then get the left knee down towards the floor, and then slowly start to take that right foot back down towards the mat and holding it there for a few breaths. Inhale, exhale 2, inhale, exhale 3, inhale, exhale 4, inhale, and exhale 5. Start to bring the left knee back into the chest. Open the left arm out onto the mat, shoulder height. bring the left knee across the right side of the body with your right hand, and then start to look over the left shoulder, coming into that twist, closing your eyes just for a moment, finding your inhales and exhales, lengthening out that breath again. Inhale and exhale. And bringing the left knee back into the chest, bring the right knee back into the chest, and slowly start to rock up to sit with your legs extending out in front of you, setting up for Paschimottanasana. I like to sometimes bend into my knees, grab hold of my feet from the outside, and take my chest towards my thighs and hold it there for a few breaths, just stretching into that lower back if it feels good. And once I'm ready, slowly starting to extend into the legs without rounding into the spine too much. Obviously there will be a little bit of rounding in the lower spine, but trying to keep the shoulders back and shoulders away from the ears. Just holding it in Paschimottanasana for a few breaths. Take your time to maybe come out of the pose and then back in. Keep the feet flexed. You want strong legs here. You don't want to be just hanging out, so make sure that the thighs are pulling away from the kneecaps, really extending into the back of the legs. Holding it for 5 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. And exhale 5. Slowly making your way all the way back up. And bringing the right knee into the chest. Drop the right knee out towards the side. Square up over the left leg. Lift up into the chest and exhale, fold all the way over the left leg, holding for 5. For 4. And 3. And 2. And 1. Bringing yourself back up to center. Right knee comes into the chest, extending it out onto the mat. Then bringing the left knee into the chest, dropping it out onto the mat next to you. Squaring up over the right leg and folding all the way over the right leg. Again for 5 breaths. Inhale. Exhale 1. For 2. And 3. And 4. And 5. Slowly making your way all the way back up to center. Left knee comes into the chest. Right knee also comes into the chest. You're going to bring your arms either side of your legs and slowly start to lift the feet in line with the knees, coming into boat pose, into Navasana, holding it there for 5. And 4. Chest is pulling up towards the thighs. 3. And 2. And 1. With control, starting to extend yourself onto the mat, onto your back, lowering yourself down, using that belly to help you get there. And then opening yourself up onto the mat, maybe making some last movements that you need to make, setting up for your Shavasana, taking some time here, letting go of all control of your breath, all control of your body, and taking as much time as you need in your Shavasana. It's always a good idea to kind of stay here for a good 3 minutes. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.